Welcome to Sky Broking Commodity Weekly Market Commentary. Disclaimer: this weekly market commentary is for information purpose only. Before taking any decision, consult a financial advisor. Major data of this week has economic and inflation related data and the major event like US Fed Chairman Mr. Powell speaks on Tuesday. Now let's see the precious metals outlook. Gold and silver has news like precious metals as a group suffered heavy losses overnight, with investors appearing to prefer the haven of the US dollar and US bonds. The Fed has been committed to raise interest rates at the fast pace, and in addition, fundamentally, this is a negative news for precious metals, and technically speaking, gold may expect a mild recovery until close below 49,670 levels. Silver may expect a high volatility trade in between 55,955 to 63,847 levels. So these are this week's precious metals outlook. Now let's move on to see the energy outlook. First is crude oil. It has a news like recession fears in China and Europe and an escalation by Russia on the sanctions front is likely to flow into oil price strength. Fundamentally, this is a positive news for crude oil, and technically speaking, crude oil may expect a volatility trade. Next is natural gas. It has a news like Russian natural gas sanctions on some European importers were the reason that natural gas prices soaring. Fundamentally, this is a positive news for natural gas, and technically speaking, natural gas may expect a mixed trade in between 549.9 to 634.2 levels. So these are this week's energy outlook. Now let's check out the base metals outlook. First is copper. It has a news like copper TCRC is largely stable but spot buying not particularly robust. This is fundamentally a neutral news for copper, and technically speaking, copper may expect a range bound trade in between 735 to 765 levels. Next is aluminum. It has a news like aluminum primary foundry alloy premium climbs in US. The European premium stable. This is fundamentally a positive news for aluminum, and technically speaking, aluminum may expect a mild recovery until break below 228 levels. Next is lead. It has a news like downstream lead acid battery sector was still restricted by the seasonal low. This is fundamentally a slight negative news for lead, and technically speaking, lead may expect a negative range bound trade. Next is zinc. It has a news like treatment charges TC for zinc concentrates in East Asia started to fall in the fortnight, with more spot inquiries amid favorable import terms. This is fundamentally a slight negative news for zinc, and technically speaking, zinc may expect a recovery from lower levels. And the last is nickel. It has a news like China's nickel sulfate prices drop amid weak demand. This is fundamentally a slight negative news for nickel, and technically speaking, nickel remains in a mild profit booking. So these are this week's Commodity Weekly Market Commentary. For more market updates, join our Telegram channel and the YouTube channel. Thank you by Sky Broking.